Hello and welcome once again to the Barbarian Breakdown. This week we are looking at what happened on week 2 in the EGL Open Series Split number 3. Having a little look at what we could expect to happen in week 3, as well as roster changes and arguments that you may or may not have missed happening around the scene. First things first, huge congratulations to what is now just the XS roster. It's been a couple of weeks. I don't think we should be calling them the new XS anymore. It's been there now. They're pretty established. Winning week 2. Congratulations to them, and pretty much solidifying the number 1 seed spot in this split. And it would be hard to knock them off that spot, I'd imagine. Big shout out to Phantom T coming in second this week, an improvement from last week where they finished top 4. I do hope to see more of this as the split goes on. Top 4 changed a little. Class 1A is now back-to-back top 4, and this week we saw Breaker's team, now named Fossils and Frenchman, as the last semi-finals team. Does this mean Xenix is no longer in the European gear scene alongside Rated R? It is a shame to see Orgs leaving the scene with the new split just starting up, still 6 weeks to go, but the numbers, the way they currently are, and roster changes, let's just call it turbulence within the scene happening left, right and centre, you can't really blame them. Touching on the note of the numbers of teams, 13 teams entered this week, 2 teams less than last. Whatever your reasons are for not playing game modes, maps, weapon swaps and whatnot, I think you need to understand with the official NA LATAM scene announcing that in Split 3 they'll be playing the 3 game modes, obviously Control, Execution 2.0 and Escalation. These game modes are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. I know you guys are scrimming. I know there is more than 13 teams out there. So, like, whatever you are doing, guys, come on, support your regions, to get signed up, even if you get rounded, like, it's fine. I mean, look at this week, right? Look at week 2. I came in 5th seed. I entered this tournament with the 5th seed team. That tells you everything that you fucking need to know. Like, what he is doing, man. Like, I know I'm improving, but I don't know what getting the 5th seed into a tournament, man. Like, we need to sort this out, guys. Get out there, get playing, turn out, show your support towards the scene. Like, we need to be doing this. This is our scene, man. Like, this is what it's all about. Speaking of the new game modes, execution settings, saw little tweaks this week. We're now playing 6 rounds instead of 5. And DBNO settings, down but not out settings, are set to mitigate damage, not execution rules. So basically what you have in escalation, you can go down, you can finish from distance and whatnot. You just can't do it with a couple of lancer bullets. You have to, like, really sort of drill them to finish them off. And again, not the normal execution rules mean that we're actually playing Warzone 2.0, not Execution 2.0. But, I mean, I'm just a stickler for semantics. I mean, I'd like to see that changed back sooner rather than later, but we'll have to see. TC via TC Shawnee has recently announced that Control will have an option when selecting game modes in custom. You'll be able to select Control eSport version. This is allowing, obviously, changes and whatnot to sort of already be done, which is a brilliant feature. A small yet simple feature that I would like to see implemented into escalation and execution in the future. Especially on execution, I'd like to be able to select execution esport and to include the weapon swaps, like, on the maps. Do you know what I mean? So that way it sort of, that can cancel out the glitch where you change the weapons manually and then they reset and stuff where you have to sort of do it multiple times. If you just have it as execution esport and it carries this on, that would absolutely be brilliant. Now, the rest of the top teams in week 2. Deadass, bro. Haha. Moi. We had a sub this week. Godcause jumped in for us because we still don't have a set 4. We faced Raw Gamers in round 1, 2-0, and secured top 8. Hopefully maybe solidifying my 5th seed, I don't know. We lost in quarterfinals to Class 1A. Jimmy B got to give me a spanking. It was not over quickly and I did not enjoy it. Daddy and the Kid, consisting of Chris RN, Fergs, Rusty and VRY Hunter. It's a bit of a mixed match team. They secured top 8 by defeating Hegasoft. I do hope I'm pronouncing that right. I know they're one of the orgs currently in the scene. And then they went out against Phantom T, this Daddy and the Kid roster. We'll see if they're still together in week 3. If so, we'll have to see what they can do in the future. We have first rounded, who ironically didn't get first rounded, which is Arif's Reem, Yokai and Onslaught. They got defeated by Breaker's new team after taking out Momentum 2-0 in round 1. Speaking of Momentum, you may not have seen Darko has quit. He will be playing sort of on the Sundays, jumping in as and when if needed, but isn't looking to compete full time anymore, which is sad to see and hear. One of his teammates has left the team, not really sure which one, but I know Darko has a very sort of relationship built sort of mentality of that squad. Like, he wants to play with Fruit, Enigma and Sugar, and if he can't play with those guys, then he doesn't want to be competing. So, I mean, that's the way that has gone. The last top 8 team of week 2 was Outsiders with a roster of Curse, Arvsy, B Tactics and Saitama, who beat Les Pepits. Such a big win for them really going into this week, and then only to be eliminated by Excess. I mean, they've made some changes since the Barbarian League and sort of what's gone on. That team was Tactics, Arvsy, Cursor and Forbiddens, and now in going into week 3, I think it's Fru's turn to cast, because Toby has been scrimming with this roster. So Fru will be casting with Seaton in week 3, so I believe that will play the squad this Sunday for Outsiders as Toby Campbell, Saitama, Tactics and Armsy, but I could be wrong. It would be interesting to see if that is the sort of team. Will we see the return of the name Low Field View, Best Field View, or maybe 4 Point, or will they continue with the name Outsiders going forwards? So that basically covers what happened. I fully expect to see more roster changes coming into Split 3, especially on the side of Breaker's team, Fossils and Frenchmen, with what appears to be Saki and Banged going at each other in sort of reverse selfie war with some insults thrown. So I'm not really sure what's happening with that roster now. I would imagine Breaker and Saki will stick. I think Slaps was actually the man they had with them in week 2. So we'll have to see what's happening there. In other news, Spanish, last week's finalists, didn't enter week 2. On the news of Highly Rated, via a tweet from Marsh, we have confirmation that last Split's champions, Highly Rated, won't be the same team this split. Marsh is taking a break and will be back at some point with a new team to compete, we hope to see towards the back end of the split and in the finals. The org Highly Rated, they have tweeted and responded, and they have said that they are still in the scene still, so we'll have to see and await the announcement of who the new Highly Rated squad is. That pretty much covers everything, I think, for this week's Barbarian Breakdown. Best of luck to you all in week 3. I do hope that we can start seeing some numbers and some growth across there. Let's keep doing it. I will see you next time, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else out there. And always remember the most important thing, guys, do keep it classy.